Hi there everybody, this is David and welcome to New RPG News. We have a lot of stuff to talk about today, as usual, from Final Fantasy VII stuff, to a really cool new RPG that was just announced, to some crazy Xbox rumors and whatnot that I do want to discuss. A lot of stuff is going on, but we're going to start here with Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, because, you know, it's Final Fantasy and we have to. In fact, there's also some rumors about Final Fantasy VIII floating around too that we're going to be getting to as well. But first things first, if you haven't been living under a rock, you might not know, but guess what, folks? The Final Fantasy VII Rebirth demo did release. You can go and you can play that now. It shows the opening of Chapter 1 as well as the Yunnan area. And if you've been following my channel for quite some time now, you'll know that I played that demo back in, I think, like October. I played that and I put out some videos about that. And then more recently, I was able to play another portion of the game, which was the Calm City as well as the Calm Grasslands. And I got to play 4 hours of that. So if you want even more information, more footage of what's going on in Rebirth, be sure to check out that video as well. This demo is available from the PlayStation Store. And if you're looking at the background and what's going on here, sorry, I'm on a cruise ship. I told you all that last week that I would be gone, so here I am. I'm somewhere between Australia and New Zealand right now, and I'm on Ken's work computer, so the whole setup is screwy, but I'm doing my best here. Here we go. This demo lets you enjoy the Nibelheim episode that forms the opening chapter of the game story, as well as the Yunnan area episode where you experience the world map and exploration elements of the gameplay. Players who have saved data from the demo can claim a Kupo Charm, an adventuring item set from the full game. The Kupo Charm is an accessory that increases the number of resource items extracted from a set rate, and the Survival set is a selection of items to aid in your adventure, such as potions and ethers. But players who do complete the Nibelheim episode will be able to skip the same section in the full game, thank God. Oh my God, there was nothing worse than controlling Cloud, and he's like, ugh, I can barely move. Oh my God, I'm so freaking slow. And I was just like, oh my God, move your ass. So it says that, you know, all this stuff will be there and everything. So you can play this demo right now. So go ahead and do that. Make sure that you update it and everything else, because if you're anything like me, you're totally looking forward to Rebirth coming out on February the 29th. We have a turn-based Chemco RPG coming to the PC as well as consoles. If you're into these Chemco JRPGs of the month, be on the lookout for this. It's coming to the Xbox, Windows, Steam, PS4, and PS5, as well as the Nintendo Switch over on February the 16th. You can go ahead and pre-order it right now. And it says, embark on a journey with Light. That's his name. A resident of Selka village who, after joining the coveted Holos Over military, vows to protect his village. However, during a mission, the village falls prey to an unknown assailant, leaving it in ruin. Here's the call of the Guardian Beast. To gain strength, Light follows the words of the Guardian Beast and fulfills a mystical contract. Immerse yourself in a captivating world where bond-shaped destiny, strategic enhancements forge a path to victory. Will you answer the call of the Guardian Beast and restore Light's village to its former glory? Join the adventure now! Don't expect too much from these Chemco RPGs, people. If you're just looking for some classic, simple SNES turn-based fun, this will definitely scratch that itch. But if you're looking for the next Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, look elsewhere. The director of Final Fantasy VIII would change the combat system if it were going to be remade. Okay, before we jump to conclusions about making turn-based action, let's just read this. Talking to IGN, Final Fantasy VIII's director Yoshinori Kitashi said that he'd really reworked the battle system of Final Fantasy VIII, noted that players struggled with the stat-heavy junction system that powered the RPG's characters and the fights. It really wasn't that complicated. I'm sorry. I mean, maybe I played it when I was a teenager, so I got it, but it was just like, you take the magic and you put it to the stat, and whichever gives you the highest number, that's all you had to do. It wasn't exactly the most complicated thing ever. It says, I think that you might remember that we had a junction system in Final Fantasy VIII. And the thing about the system was that the enemies leveled up in line with what the player's level was. And obviously, you had to then use the junction system and how you customize that to overcome the challenge there. And I think it was a very difficult system for some people to get into. Depending on player skills, sometimes they just didn't work out the best way of doing it. You just find the highest number, people. It's not that difficult. So I think that I'd want to return to that and really rework the battle system on Final Fantasy VIII, make it something where that level of difficulty and approachability for some fans was a lot better balanced. So I think that's the thing I'd look at most if I was going to look at remaking it. What do most fans want, apparently? Oh, action-based battle systems, great! Of course, a remake of Final Fantasy VIII seems unlikely. I've worked out that trying to recreate that kind of volume content— This pisses me off. This paragraph here pisses me off. Okay, here we go. Of course, a remake of Final Fantasy VIII seems unlikely. I've worked out that trying to recreate that volume of content that you had in RPGs back then, in the modern day, is not something that you can take on lightly. It's such a massive investment of time and effort that we really have to think very hard about taking on any kind of project like that. Katase's words reinforce his recent comments about Final Fantasy VI, which he estimates would take around 20 years to remake. So, you're telling me that if you made a game on the NES, SNES, PS1, PS2, with tons and tons and tons and tons of content, oh, well, we can't do that nowadays, oh, no siree, Bob, like that, it drives me crazy, because this is their thing. Instead of focusing on the content and making good gameplay and making great characterization and stuff, they're instead focusing on hair physics and eyeballs and jiggle physics on boobs and like shit that doesn't fucking matter. It doesn't matter. Like, it drives me crazy. It drives me crazy. I'm sorry. It's too early for me to already be going crazy about this, but like, I'm sorry. Like, if you focus on the stuff that matters, then you could put that volume of content into an RPG in this day and age. Like, if you could do it back in the 90s, you certainly can do it today if you just focus on the things that frickin' matter. Just saying. Continuing on. While Hamaguchi was talking about the situation lightheartedly, the conversation made it clear that remaking SNES or PS1 era Final Fantasies is a colossal undertaking that requires a significant budget, a long development period, and potentially multiple installments. Great. Right now, it seems that we shouldn't consider Final Fantasy VII's remake successor as a clear signal that Square Enix will definitely remake other games. Yeah, so they are like so far divorced from reality that instead of just giving fans what they might want, they want to do these 20-year multi-part remakes where they just like change everything, and that's not what we want. Like, it drives me crazy, and I already went off about this in the Final Fantasy VI thing last week, and here I am doing it on 8 again because it pisses me off. Continuing on with The Square. This is a report from Bloomberg. Square Enix plans a major reform of game development structures, and these reforms will go into effect in April of this year. So it says that this is in an aim of improving the quality of their titles, which is fine by me. And I think, again, and I've reiterated this goes back to 2022 when they released like 6 games all within like a 3-month period, and they were all kind of like B. You know what I mean? There was a D in there too, Valkyrie Elysium, but most of them were like B, you know? And if they just had like a little bit more time in the fire, then they could have been like A. You know what I'm saying? But they were B. So anyway, hopefully this is a way to make these B games move up into A. Curio reportedly outlined a plan to reduce outsourced development and focus on in-house large-scale game development in order to improve game quality and profit margins. We are performing a zero-based review to determine what kind of organizational structure is necessary to realize the contents of our pipeline, and which approach is best. Specifics about the new structure will not be announced until spring at the earliest, he added. But several securities analysts who attended the call said that the new structure is planned to go into effect in April, and this reportedly includes a new system of checks to judge the quality of games at earlier stages of development. I think that's perfectly fine. Honestly, I think that's perfectly fine. If you want to go through and check a game and make sure, hey, is this game on track? Is this game any good? And figure that out at the beginning. Don't figure it out when the game is 99% done and it's over in beta testing or whatever. Figure that out while it's still in development and be like, oh, this game's crumb bum. Let's fix it up, you know? Figure that out early. I think this is a very good Exciting news, and I shared the link to this on the day that it happened over on my Twitter. So if you're looking for that, be sure to follow me on Twitter and find this survey. Capcom is gauging interest for remakes and new games of beloved IPs such as Breath of Fire. It says of the following options, up to 3 can be selected as far as games that you would like to see get a sequel or even a new game. And some of them of note are Okami, Ace Attorney, Street Fighter, Dino Crisis, Devil May Cry, Dragon's Dogma. And then it goes on. In question 6 it says, but is there a game that you'd like to see completely remade with the latest technology, including character design and story direction? And here, the one that I think is the most exciting is Breath of Fire 1, 2, and 3. I do not know why 4 isn't included. I do not know why 5 isn't included. I do know why 6 isn't included, because But 1, 2, 3, Breath of Fire! Hell yeah! Also, my childhood, Gargoyle's Quest 1, 2, and 3, Mega Man 1, 2, and 3, putting those in there. I personally voted, of course, Breath of Fire 1, 2, 3. Hey, that would be fan-fricking-tastic. I would love a Breath of Fire collection. All of them remade, retranslated. Oh my god, retranslated, especially 1 and 2. But man, it is so cool. Then, at the final question is, do you have a complaint that you'd like to share with Capcom? And the one that I chose was, reboot the old IPs already! Know what our complaints are if they actually included that as an option. So I put in a comment and I was like, more Breath of Fire, please, 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 so all that. So if you want Breath of Fire, if you want Capcom to go back to those classic turn-based RPGs, then be sure to fill out this survey. A potential Persona 3 Reload DLC, the answer has been found in a new data mine that they did of the game. It says, suggesting that Persona 3 Reload will be treated as a wave of DLC, including the FES version's post-game content, the answer have gained more weight after references to them were spotted in a recent data mine. Delving into the PC files revealed mentions of a P3R expansion pass that would grant access to 6 portions of DLC, one of which is episode Aegis, the answer. The other 5 pieces that have been data mined are an exploration item set, EXGM sets from Persona 4 Golden and Persona 5 Royal, the Velvet Room costume set, and an episode Aegis background music set. While this offers significantly more evidence of the possibility of the answer being prepared as Persona 3 Reload DLC, it is important to note that this does not always mean the content will actually arrive. A data mine of Shin Megami Tensei 5 picked up references to PS4, but the port never materialized. Still, this is welcome news for fans looking for more Persona 3 Reload. I myself was shocked whenever I found out that the FES stuff wouldn't be in Persona 3 Reload. But I also did read another article where Atlas said, hey, y'all, there's not going to be like a Persona 3 Reload Royal version either. So I guess they're just going to take Reload and they're going to put the FES stuff and maybe the Persona 3 Portable, like the female main character. Maybe they'll put that into Reload 2 as DLC. Who knows? Now this looks gorgeous. It's giving me some Unicorn Overlord vibes insofar as just how it's being presented. It says, hand-painted Japanese-inspired RPG Lost Hellden announced for the PS5, Xbox, PS4, Switch, and PC. It is featuring music and audio direction by Hitoshi Sakamoto and illustrations by Takeshi Oga. This is developed by the people who also developed Astria Ascending and Super Neptunia RPG. So yeah, take that as a grain of salt right there. Anyway, this looks pretty neat, especially because the people behind this are also behind Tactics Ogre, Final Fantasy XII, Gravity Rush, the Sheeran the Wanderer series, and it looks pretty nice. Let me just read you the overview. It says that this is a unique hand-painted RPG from Artisan Studios enhanced by dynamic lighting and weather effects. Take control of 8 unique, highly customizable characters through an epic, mature story where the 7 deadly sins guide your fate. Witness a new, deep 2D technology allowing you to play in 3D and hand-painted artworks with dynamic lighting and weather. This thing looks pretty freaking sweet. I do want to be on the lookout for more information about this. I do want to see more about it before I say it's like the best thing ever. But sucks. But at the same time, it does have some other good pedigree behind it too. Yu-Gi-Oh! Early Days Collection announced for the Switch and PC, and a worldwide release has been confirmed. This includes Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Monsters 4, as well as 6, and it says, and more. It says it's going to include multiple titles that are originally released on the Game Boy Color and in Game Boy Advance, and additional titles will be announced at a later date. At first, this was confirmed to be Japan only, but now we do know it is worldwide. It says, revealed at the Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Monsters The Legend of the Duelist Quarter Century special event in Tokyo, Japan, this is a new digital title in development commemorating the 25th anniversary of the card game. It's coming to the Nintendo Switch and Steam, and it brings together the earliest Yu-Gi-Oh! Games ever released. And the collection will include titles that previously weren't released in the West. If you're into Yu-Gi-Oh!, be sure to pick this up. I myself have never played the card game, never watched the animated television show, and never played a video game in the series either because it's card battling and I wasn't really a fan. But if you are, I wanted to let you know about it. Ys Memoire, The Oath in Felghana, is coming to the PS4, PS5 on May 23rd over in Japan right now. It's currently also available for the Nintendo Switch. We have known about this remake for quite a bit of time. We don't have an English release date on it yet, but we do know that it is out in Japan, and more than likely we will be getting it over in English as well. We just have to wait for it to get translated. It says that the PS4 and PS5 physical editions are going to include a reversible cover jacket featuring both new and classic box art, and if you switch the box art, it's possible to recreate the PSP as well as the PC packaging. So that's pretty cool. Then it shows little pictures of the various box art right there. And then it also goes into some gameplay tidbits and details. It says, in addition to the voiced events for the game's more than 30 characters, voiceovers have also been added for the protagonist, Adol Christian, who will be voiced by Yuki Kaji. Coupled with narration by Banju Ginga, players will be able to enjoy even more dramatic story. And refined versions of the illustrations for every character that appears during the story have been created for this remastered release. The classic versions that were used in the PSP and PC versions will also be included, so you can switch between the refined versions and the classic versions depending on your preference. I do like that, adding in the actual, different options or whatever, depending on what you like. Remastered in high definition for the PS5 and PS4, not only can you enjoy more beautiful graphics upgraded to high definition image quality from the original PSP version, you can also enjoy high quality background music and sound effects, and you can switch between the 3 sound settings as well. So that's pretty freaking cool, I must say. And it says it's a high speed mode and beginner friendly support features. Increase your speed while moving on the field and in battle by 1.5 to 2 times more. This can be activated anytime with the push of a button, allowing you to more comfortably enjoy the game. Additionally, the game is equipped with various support features for action game beginners, such as not falling, which allows you to recover instantly without taking damage whenever you fall from a high place. I myself am looking forward to this, even though I did play the original back on the SNES whenever it came out, and then I played the PSP remake, which was fan-freaking-tastic, but more ease is always a good thing. Now this one's kind of worrisome. The Katakawa Corporation has acquired... Yeah, I know. It's now a sister company to From Software and Spike Chun Soft. If you don't know who Acquire is, they're the ones who make the Octopath Traveler series. So hopefully they let them continue on with Octopath Traveler and let them continue working with Square Enix as well, and making more Octopath or making more RPGs or just, HD 2D RPGs in general. It says, to strengthen the ability to acquire IP and games as part of our game business strategy, we have made Acquire Corporation into a wholly owned subsidiary, the company said in its earnings result for the first 3 months that ended in December 31st. By acquiring the company, which has produced million seller hit titles, we expect to generate synergies with our existing game-related subsidiaries, strengthening our planning and development capabilities group-wide, and enhancing the lineup of our console games. Acquire was founded in 1994 and develops and markets original game titles for consoles, as well as engages in contractual developments. In addition to the Octopath Traveler series for Square Enix, the company also developed the Tenchu and Way of the Samurai series, which are owned by the Katakawa Group subsidiaries From Software and Spike Chunsoft, respectively, which is most well known for its self-published series, Akiba's Trip. If you don't know who From Software is, that's Souls. That's Dark Souls. That's the Souls-likes and the Souls games and all that kind of stuff. So It kind of seems strange that they are acquire, which is doing HD 2D RPGs and stuff like that. But wouldn't it be cool to get maybe like a Souls HD 2D RPG that's turn-based? Just saying. I played some hard JRPGs in my time. I played Brainlord. I played Arc Res Fantasia. I played Beyond the Beyond. I've played 7 Saga, and I enjoyed those. I can deal with a hard turn-based RPG. It's just the Souls likes and the actions and all that. That's too much. I'm too old for all that. And now for our last 2 stories of this news segment, both focusing on Xbox. We've all seen the rumors for Xbox. We all know what might be happening, but we don't really know exactly what's happening. So I'm just going to let you all know what has actually been reported that is happening. It says, the Xbox business update event set for next week, which will detail about our vision for the future of Xbox. They're going to host a business update to talk about it. This is from Phil Spencer himself, the CEO of the Microsoft Gaming division. It says, we're listening and we hear you. We've been planning a business update event for the next week where we look forward to sharing more details with you about our vision for the future of Xbox. The announcement comes hot off the heel of rumors this weekend, and we'll get to this too, that several high-profile Xbox first-party games are coming to rival platforms, including Starfield, Hi-Fi Rush, Indiana Jones, and The Great Circle, Sea of Thieves, and more. Can and more also be Lost Odyssey and Blue Dragon? Just saying. Can that be and more? That would be nice. It says, The Verge reports that this business update was originally scheduled for later in February alongside the announcement of Hi-Fi Rush for PS5 and Switch, but was removed up following this weekend's rumor. So they're trying to do some damage control here. Now let's look over here at the actual rumor forms. I lived through something very, very similar to this. I lived through it twice. Actually. Lived through it the first time whenever Atari left the console development business, and now Atari is creating games themselves and releasing them on other platforms. And then I lived through it again in the early 2000s whenever Sega quit making their consoles as well. So this isn't the most doom and gloom thing you've ever seen. Don't think, the sky is falling. Oh my God, Xbox is leaving the console game, because this has happened before. Happened with Atari, happened with Sega, and everything was fine. Things went on as usual. So I don't think that this is going to be the worst thing ever if these rumors do come to fruition. It is concerning just because you don't know what the future holds. It's always, you have to wonder worst case scenario. Oh, is Sony going to be like, oh, well, Xbox can't keep us in check anymore. Let's raise our games up to $100. But don't forget, there's still Nintendo out there with the Switch. There's still PC gaming. There's still Steam. There's still other competitors out there. Competitors that we don't really talk about. So I don't think that this is like the worst. More rumors about what is going on right here. And this is citing sources familiar with Microsoft plans, talking about the games that will be coming to the PS5 and Switch in the future. They say, the website adds that Microsoft has made additional investments into the PS5 development kits to support ongoing production efforts for these games. And Microsoft's senior leadership have reportedly debated the pros and cons of releasing previously exclusive software on other platforms, but recouping the potential money left on the table by not doing so ultimately won, the website claims. So again, this is all about money. This is all about, okay, well, we could put it on the Xbox, but we could sell more if we put it on the PlayStation and the Switch. So we're going to do that as well. And then that just leaves like, well, where is Xbox? If Xbox has no exclusives, then what's the purpose of owning the Xbox is pretty much the argument that I'm seeing over on Twitter and various message boards and things like that. And I would like to know what y'all feel about this, because I know that this is a pretty hot button issue here with what is going on with Xbox. Hopefully everything will be in the up and up. Hopefully this will mean that we will get some exclusives over on the PlayStation that we couldn't previously get. I do think that more access to games on all the various consoles is a good thing. But again, there is some scariness here insofar as Sony competition, so we're gonna raise our prices, or stuff like that. So I just want to hear what y'all think about this. Let me know in the comments, and as always, y'all have a good day.